It's finally time, ladies and gentlemen, to review the SH Figma Tanjiro. Y'all been waiting for this? No! And I know absolutely none of you are actually waiting. We're gonna do you one better though. We're gonna also review the Infinity Castle Edition. And the Figma. We're reviewing all three of these. Well, technically these are two the same figure. You get the gist. We're reviewing more than just one figure today. Multiple Tanjiros. This is gonna be hell. First of all, let's get into these boxes, which you all seen, but just get a better look. SHF's box, the standard SHF-ness, but now with Tanjiro. Yeah, I've had this figure for over a year, so his box has taken some beatings. But yeah, I like how the box looks. Compared to his Infinity Castle Edition, which now, it's red. But yeah, just once again the same box. I haven't had this for as long. Plus, I don't do the thing anymore where I put them in, and then I take them out, and then I do it again. They're on the shelves now, so this box doesn't get damaged much. And then, of course, we got Big Boy. Gotta get those out of here. The Figma box, which, Jesus, it's been a while since I had to look over a Figma box. But you all know what to expect, you know. We got the pictures of the figure, show you what you get. Great promotional images. Honestly, I feel like the Figma boxes are my favorite Demon Slayer box. I maybe said that in an old video, which is like old as hell. Jesus, I've almost been doing this for a year. Can't believe that. This is my 1 year anniversary, people. This is my 1 year video. But also, we got to look on the inside, which, you know, the whole sleeve thing, which, you know, you just get good looks at the figure. You get, like, basically, it's a box. So, you know, it's not the most important thing about the figure. Technically, the box could be just dookie. But I'm glad Figma gives us good boxes. That's one thing I love. At least when it comes to the looks. If we go with the standard box, then yeah, you know, it's never gonna near as look as cool as this. I would show you the SHF boxes, but I threw them across the room, so, and I ain't gonna go grab it. And you're all lucky that I actually am gonna go grab them. Where'd it go? Well, here it is next to Infinity Castle's box. Yeah, I have no idea where I put the standard edition. Oh, you know what I mean. Yeah, it just flew. It flew from existence. It's gone. Oh, wait, nope, I'm just an idiot. It's on my bed. Oh, thank God. Take the camera. Yeah, here's all three of the boxes. I'm trying to get them in a good view. But yeah, here's all three of the Tanjiro boxes. But time to get into the actual interest spot, the figure. Here they are, standing side by side, SHF and Figma. They both look great, but we're going to look over them separately. So let's look at Figma first. Figma looks great. I love the way he looks. I think the face on him is great. That is Kambachi wo Kamaboko. His Hori looks pretty good too. I'm going to be honest here, I like how the Figmas look more than the SHFs when it comes to just the Hori. Since you can see with SHF, there's a lot more cuts in it. With Figma, there's just the typical just cuts for the elbows and for the back. Besides that, nothing more. But yeah, Figma looks great. Yeah, it does have some skinny knees. Maybe a little too skinny, depending on your preference if this is a good or bad thing. But I think he still looks great. He looks way better than the Buzz mod, in my opinion. Jump scare warning in 3, 2, 1. Now to help us cleanse, here's SHF Tanjiro. He looks really good. I love the way he looks. And he looks perfect. You know, nothing's missing. You know, not an essential part of his character design's missing. Nothing. A freaking earring's missing. Earring's missing. It broke off like I don't know when. I think last summer. But yeah, it broke off, which annoys me. But he still looks good. Now, I know it doesn't look like that on camera, but his green is way better than Figma's Tanjiro. I know you can't really tell. Maybe when we do the photos at the end with both of these, you can tell the green. But the green's way better on this guy. And just to clarify what I mean, I like the colors on this more. I like how this one's made more with less hinges and joints. Because, you know, you don't need a lot of joints for a figure. They need good range. Some wise words. But he looks great. I love how he looks. And you can also tell I did decide to give them both different sheaths. Rengoku's hilt sheath and the typical one he had at the beginning. But both figures are really good. They look really good.
And they have all the details same. I just realized, look how skinny the Figma's feet are compared to SHF. Wow. That is crazy. And also these figures can stand very well. I'm sure none of them are going to fall over when I let go.
Time for some articulation. First, we'll go over Figmas. Head's on this typical joint, so you get pretty good range on them. Looking up, it's pretty good. Overall, pretty decent range. Arms move up this high up. And actually, it has a bicep swivel. Or somewhat of a bicep swivel. It's more made for the Figma Nezuko to put the box on his back. But it still has it. Typical joint system. You got a rotation here. And typical hinge here. Your ab crunch, swivel, crunch in. Pretty good. The legs is where my main issue. Unlike Zenitsu and Inosuke that have drop down hips, he does not. Let me see if I can try and get. You can kind of see he doesn't really have any. His legs still go up quite a good amount. And back. Pretty good. But it's just kind of weird. And oh my god, what happened to his leg? Okay, we'll come back to that later. Swivel down here, ankle rocker, toe joint, and the knees, which go in a great amount. But yeah, he's overall. Oh yeah, and his oi lifts up in these two big pieces. And boom, there he is. That's his articulation. And also, this piece is connected. It's permanently. You cannot get that off. Good luck trying. You will break your figure. SHF had same joint. You might get a little bit better range. Arms move up way higher. Bicep swivel. Arm movement. Wrist joint. Got the typical swivel. Can pull up to get an even better crunch somewhat. And back more. Instead of 2, now we get 3, which I prefer the 2 if I'm being honest. You can get a swivel here, which I feel like a lot of people actually don't know. Legs move up this high, this far back. Spread. Thigh swivel, which is really cool. Knee goes in great. Got a joint here to make that go in. And same feet articulation. And now the sheath just moves like this. And you can detach it if you want. And that counts as an accessory. But yeah, I feel like both of these figures have some pretty decent articulation. I think they're pretty good. Yeah, sure, there's some. I think primarily on Figma not having the drop-down hips. Now, this is the first Figma figure from the Demon Slayer line, so maybe that's why it doesn't have drop-down hips. Or I just got a back copy that didn't have it for some reason. Shf Tanjiro, it was basically the blueprint that basically gave everyone else like Gyu and Goku their articulation. But yeah. Both of them, really good articulation. Not much complaints. I think Figma overall has the better ab crunch though, but SHF has better movement in the arms. And speaking of arms, I forgot the butterfly joints. Silly me. Butterfly joints for the arms go pretty nice. They're going to be even better with some soft goods. Spoilers. For Figma, they're fine. Doesn't work that well, but still, And I mentioned Zenitsu video, the coat moves with it, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's time to get into these boys' accessories, what they come with. First off, for Figma accessories, we get all of these hands. Splayed out open, soul holding, relax, and this one to hold his sheath whenever it's in there. And the fists are already on the figure. Next up, we get this little Nezuko, which is nice. DX exclusive, by the way. Of course, it cannot be Tanjiro without having his sword. Nice Nichiren blade. And like you saw earlier, the scalpel for the sheath, that falls out so easily. You would not believe how many times that fell out when I was getting him prepared for the video. And he comes with 3 alternate face plates, 2 if you just buy the standard. Now, the one he comes with on is the typical smiling one. We get a more happy face, looks pretty nice. My least favorite one though. We get this super goofy one, which is a DX exclusive, but I love it. And then we get the angry face, which looks great. All the faces look great, and just like Tanjiro. Next up, we get the typical Figma stand. Looks pretty nice. Also, just a recommendation, keep this piece on. It makes them a lot easier to actually stay on the damn stand. And of course, we get this new piece, which is made for the effects. The sun breathing and the water breathing effect. These look great. I love them. Unlike others, you actually put the sword in it. But it cannot support it on its own, so it needs to stand, which is why it needs it. It's a pain in the butt. I thought it wasn't going to be that bad, but no, it actually is kind of bad. But still, this is what Figma comes with. I think a pretty solid range of accessories. I got him for $80, so I think I got a pretty good amount of accessories. Let's get to SHF Tanjiro. For SHF, we got, the faceplate and the fist on the figure. With some hands, we got soul holding hands. Look very nice. I like how they look. We got the relaxed pair of hands. The ones I use the least, honestly. And we get the splayed out action open hands. I love these. I use them in almost all my poses. And we get not one sword, two. You know this at this point. Rengoku's hell, blah blah blah. You've seen reviews on this figure before 10 times better than this one. And of course, you get the hilt for it, or the scalpel, whatever you call it. I don't know at this point. I'm mentally chronically insane. We got the sheath for the sword, which you've been seeing on the figure the whole time. Generally do not know why I took that thing off. But now we also have many faceplates. He has the most faceplates out of any figure in my collection, because I bought both the original and the Infinity Castle. So let's go over what standard comes with. Of course, the face on the figure. We get this nice happy faceplate. The only happy faceplate he actually came with for a long time. That's kind of weird, honestly, when you think about it. This screaming, shouting faceplate. And finally, where is it? There it is. This angry one with the Demon Slayer mark on it. That's what you get if you just bought the standard edition. Now, I also actually got Zenitsu too, so I got this faceplate. I don't know if I actually went over this in Zenitsu's video. I'm gonna go check back on it actually after I'm done this. But now for the faces you get with Infinity Castle Tanjiro. Happy face. Looks a little more like he's trying to calm you down. We get this same goofy face, just a little sadder, like that scene from the movie where he was praising Gyu. This angry one with a side eye. Another screaming one with the pupils, I guess, a little small. My favorite one, the transparent world face. Looks great. And also, finally, this Infinity Castle backdrop piece, which will be in the background for the rest of the video. These faces are cool. I have a complaint with the ones from Infinity Castle. They're too similar. We got the typical screaming, happy with the mouth open, teeth grinning, and goofy one with the blackout eyes. Just look at these. Here's the goofy one. Here's the screaming one. Here's the serious one. Here's the teeth grinning one. And here's the happy one. Like I said, there are some differences, but I do wish the faces were a little more unique. Have you guys seen that Tanjiro kit from Flash Customs? I feel like I wish more faces were like that. But I get it. They probably couldn't go that above and beyond. No. We're not actually going to make excuses. And also, I just want to go over this. This is pretty cool. I don't love it, but it is a pretty cool background piece, though. But yeah, I don't know who has more. I don't know who has better accessories. Figma has the effects, but SHF does not have effects. But if you just get standard, it's just a $35 figure, so it doesn't matter that much. Now, if you're buying Infinity Castle Edition, yeah, it's kind of matter because you're paying $70. But at the end of the day, bygone be bygones. They both have pros and cons. SHF have way more faces. Figma still has some fun stuff to play around with. Accessories are pretty good. Time to kind of get into some posing and the thoughts on both of these figures and determining which one is overall better. So overall, I love both of these figures. The Figma, it's really fun. And also SHF is also really fun too. I love these figures. They're really cool. I don't really know which one I like more. They both have their pros and cons. I like Figma's effects, but SHF overall feels a little sturdier and has more faces. But I guess if I had to choose one to keep in my collection forever, if I had to sell one for some reason, I would get rid of the Figma. Just because I had SHF for longer, so I'm more used to it. And also just feels more posability. And yeah, the effects kind of suck, but we are going to get some water breathing effects from Tamashi. And we're also... So the effects on the Figma one are a little annoying to deal with, as you can see from earlier in the video. And also... pictures of the water breathing and sun breathing effect you see, those took a little bit of setup. But yeah, overall, I still love these figures. Both of them are still really good, and I recommend them for Demon Slayer fans. Or if you're just looking for good figures in general, they're both really good options. And plus, with the Figma effects, when you get them to look nice, they look really nice. And they're just fun figures to pose around. I generally wish I actually posed them around with my Zenitsu, Inosuke. And one of my favorite things to do is pose Figma Tanjiro and Figma Zenitsu and Inosuke together. I cannot wait to do that with the SHF when SHF Inosuke comes out. But all these figures are super cool. and I actually had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you all will enjoy this video too. So I'll see you all on my next video.